out space parent. Okay.
Okay.
So it'll be kind of familiar, a little bit of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot of students either have had it or
I was on this project back in 2008, 2009. I don't know if anybody's ever been there, lived there, partied there. I don't know. I was on that back in 2008, 2009. So it's kind of cool coming right back, right here, yeah. Yeah.
All right, everyone, watch your step. Make sure you guys are using the handrail.
Oh yeah, that's my bread and butter.
You guys put elevators?
No, but there will be elevators. Yeah, there's an elevator in the middle. So there'll be three stairways, 3 staircases.
Okay.
This is just temporary, obviously. So I think where I can start with you guys. So I'll wait till they're all up here.
Oh, so this is like a unit right here?
That's a unit. This is it. Yeah. And I don't know if they're putting how many people they're going to pack in these units.
Wow.
I mean these bedrooms.
That's pretty small.
At Davis, I saw 3. They would have a bunk bed and 1 regular bed. They were a little bit longer. Then they have 3 desks and 3 little little dressers. That kind of tripped me out. These kids that go to college their first year, and then they're away from home for the first time. And then they got 2 roommates they've never met.
Yeah.
You know, from
Living in a shoebox.
yeah, and they were come from other countries, and it always tripped me out.
I could not do that.
Yeah. So.
I would go crazy.
How many people live in the dorms here? Dorms? Only
Okay.
like 1 or 2 people. Are your dorms this small?
Are the rooms this small?
No.
I mean,
It's a tiny room.
how many roommates do you
I'm in a
typically?
triple, but there's only 2 people.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
nice.
Right there. I
A
literally
triple
look
with
at
2 people?
Okay.
It's kind of good.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, this is the podium right here. So this is our 2nd floor. So it's all wood from here on up. Around the staircases, these are fire rated. These are firewalls. This is a 2-hour wall, so it gets 2 layers of drywall. First layer goes on. It has to be inspected by fire department, by the IOR inspector. All the screws, I mean the details. There's a submittal. There's details, and these are 8 inches on center. They got to have all these screws throughout the field and on the edge. And then the 2nd layer gets overlapped by 2 feet. The first layer goes on, they overlap it by 2 feet. That one's 8 inches on center also. So the screws will be, when they land on the 2nd one, it'll go between these 8 inch on center pattern in a perfect world. This is a shaft, so this is a 2-hour shaft. Typically, always stairs are always 2 hours. I've never seen one that's just 1 hour.
So you guys, like we've learned about in class, so this is a 2-hour stairway, 2 layers of drywall. And why do you think that they're using waterproof board?
Because it's winter.
Yeah, perfect, because it's winter, right? We're in an open building. How else are you going to drywall? Because it needs to be continuous, right? So they had to drywall all this, right? I'm assuming, before you frame this, because how else are you going to get your drywall back there? So they sheetrock this so everyone can keep going, but you can't do traditional sheetrock because it would be ruined by the end of the winter. So they can put this waterproof board in to keep moving.
So we do got a fire tape. We have to put some fire tape. We put some of this Fortiflash to try to protect where they fire tape the joints. But that stuff, when it gets wet and it stays wet, it'll start to mold. So we're trying to just protect it the best we can right now. We were late on getting a permit for this job. That's why we're a little bit. We would have had the thing framed up and had the roof get going by right now. We're behind.
When is the roof going to be on?
It's going to be on. The framing's going to be done to the roof November. I think it's November 19th. November 19th. It's going to be real quick.
Including the roof?
No, the roof won't be done. They'll start on the roof. So it'll be probably December. They're working on the roof. Typically, it depending on when the job starts with weather, it's always good if you can get up and get that roof on before winter, then we can start working inside. But we don't do any of the MEPs until the roof's on. You can't get the electrical wet, you can't get the mechanical ducts wet. We can't use normal sheetrock because then it'll start to, if it gets wet, it starts to mold up. So we use this different brands of this drywall right there. It can get wet, it doesn't mold. So it's a little more pricey, but that's what they use. These are shear walls. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a shear wall. There are different types. This, yeah, I'll wait till they all get in.
Keep coming so we can all hear.
What kind of roofing do you guys do?
What's that?
What kind of roofing do you guys do on this kind of building?
On roofing, this is all going to be a flat roof. It's going to be TPO roofing.
TPO.
It's going to be a flat roof with TPO. You guys all know what a shear wall is? Shear walls, okay, yeah, so this is our shear wall. I like to write which kind of, it's a D wall, which is a 2 and 12. So 2 inches on the edge nailing, and then 12 inches in the field. So I go through, I check it out. I always try to write it on there by 2 and 12. Typically, the framers will spray it on the ground. They'll have it translated on the ground for the guys that are just strictly nailing shear. They got guys that just stand walls up, and they have the shear guys come in. That's all they do is nail shear. And then there's guys that just do roll the joists. They have different crews that come in and specifically do one thing, and that's it. So, I'm trying to think what else. We have an ATS rod system. These little bars right here, these are tie downs. And these got embeds in the concrete, and then they get attached. And as it goes up each floor, it's got a different connection, a different, and it's got so most of the time it'll reduce in size. But it's got these little clamps. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those ATS rods. Yes. As it's going up, there'll be these little pins that we'll pull when we do the inspections. And it's like a Chinese handcuff. Once the building compresses, it doesn't let it go back up. And that's for earthquakes, I don't know, anything else.
Yeah, basically acts as an anchor for the whole building. Right, so we kind of learned a little bit about shear walls, right? If we just had a wood structure without shear walls and these ATS systems, then it'd be like a house of cards, right? What's going to keep everything square and plumb? Well, these shear walls do, right? So this prevents the framing from racking.
Any questions on them?
You said those were tie downs?
Yeah, these are the ATS rod systems. These are hold downs. This is a hold down system. I think back in the day they used to use steel cable. They used to use cable, and then the inspectors were saying. And now they use this these big all threads. And so this is kind of a smaller one. They got some pretty big ones over here. We'll kind of keep walking, kind of show you guys some. Yeah.
Are these all the way down to the first floor?
No, right on to
Just
the
this
podium, yeah. If the podium wasn't here, then it would be in the foundation.
Okay.
It always starts at the foundation of concrete.
You guys can see what they use here to protect the table by the border box.
Are these all
I think there's double singles.
So with all the rain happening right now, are these temporary?
No, they cut these out of the doorways.
Okay.
So when after everything sprayed up, they finish cut they'll cut those out. Yeah, when they start going on the door. You guys safe with that? Thank you. That was the bathroom. This is what everyone shares. Everyone else.
These are the bathrooms.
So this is the bathroom. So there's going to be showers on one side and toilets on the other. There's going to be a plumbing wall that divides this. There'll be the showers on this side, and I think it's toilets on this side. And the sinks will be over on that side. So this is mixed use. I mean, it'll be, anyone can use it. Anyone living on this floor can come in and use it. And that's how all the bathrooms are here. The partitions for like the showers, they go all the way up. It's not like when you go to use a restroom out like a place where there's a gap underneath or on top. It's completely sealed. That's for privacy.
Like little tiny little shower stalls.
Yeah,
They got to be pretty close.
Yeah, they're gonna be I think there's 3 showers on this side, and I can't remember how many toilets. I think there's 4 toilets over here. And then there's gonna be 3 sinks. I think 3 sinks. So kind of a new thing for going to college, I guess. It always trips me out. I didn't go to college, so I never got to experience the multi-use
Dorm experience.
Yeah, the dorm experience. So.
Walk you through the hallway with a towel on.
Yeah, I've never seen it done, but I'm sure everyone. I don't know. I guess you get used to it. I guess. While you go to college. But yeah, this is the bathroom. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 4 bathrooms on each floor. Got any questions about the bathroom? Jeff, that's my other assistant, Jeff Schwartz. He's helping out with all the focusing on the exterior of the building. He's kind of been our exterior superintendent. But he's got a lot of most of the experience on the outside and some on the inside. A little bit.
I saw a bunch of windows down there. We're learning about flashing in class today. You guys starting windows yet?
Within a couple of weeks. Typically we wait until we get all floors framed so we can drop the sunlight and make sure everything's nice and lined up. Here we're under the gun. Frame is a little screwed up. Start off the bottom floor. We're doing our mock-up on Thursday, so there's no windows, make sure our sequence is correct, all the flashing. It's the same system we always done.
I think that 3-hour wall safe you're showing. You guys have any questions in here? Yeah.
Are you the
Yeah.
What is the strip lighting that's
That's a good question. So before they pour the concrete, when they build these podiums up, they put all the shoring, up, and then they put this plywood down. And that's pretty much the ground. So then they have the first layer of rebar. All the plumbers will put these sleeves in here. These are healthy sleeves, fire rated. And that's just what they put in the concrete. When they pour the concrete, they pop the cap off. Sometimes it's got chipped little concrete out, but when we're doing layout, when they're doing layout, they triple check this because you don't want to miss anything on a podium deck. This podium deck doesn't have any PT cables, post-tension cables. That's pretty common enough. You guys know what PT cables are? Okay. This job had none of it. It just had a lot of rebar, which I think is a good thing because when you have to drill, something's missed, and we have to drill anything for like a sleeve that got missed, they have to x-ray the concrete. They have somebody come out and x-ray it. They look for rebar, any conduit, and it's not a guarantee. When the guy who x-rays it, he's just giving you his, allegedly there's nothing there. He's not promising, he's not responsible if you hit something. So you never want to miss it. You try not to miss something before you pour the concrete. But
So yeah, we learned about that in class. So even though this isn't post-tension, I mean, think about how much time you save by coming through and putting these sleeves in before the concrete pour. What does it take somebody? 5 minutes to nail a sleeve in to the formwork versus having to come in with a core drill and having to core out every single one of these. Especially if it's super dense with rebar. You're never going to get through, or you will eventually, but it's going to be expensive and a lot of time. So that's why they put these in. And it's fire rated, so does that already have the intumescent stuff in it?
Yeah, it's got this little gasket on the bottom where if there's a fire below, that gasket will swell up and pinch off. So no fire can get inside. It's kind of like fire caulking.
Sure.
But
Yeah, we were just talking about that in class today, right? So any fire rated, rooms, between rooms, you have to caulk all the penetrations. Same thing with, any decks, right? You can't have a fire that breaks out in the level below and work its way up. So same thing. These are all protected. These are special sleeves that have like an intumescent thing in them. So if fire hits it, it swells up. The fire can't get up through the plug.
I don't know if you guys know. I'm just gonna shoot off whatever's on my mind that I see. Like this wall right here, it's got a separation between the 2 walls, and that's the noise. That's the sound. So sound doesn't transfer. So if you have that unit, that's the unit you're living in, you're not going to hear whatever's going on in the bathroom. Yeah, I think that's every unit. No, it's not every unit. Insulation. Insulation is for sound. We use insulation for sound. Separation. Sometimes we'll stagger sometimes we'll have staggered stud. We'll stagger the studs on the walls. So
you guys call them party walls?
Yeah.
So you call them party walls. It's because sound, travels through vibrations. So what you do is you create a separation, so you have two studs. And same thing too, if someone's banging on the wall, it's not transferring. You're still going to hear it, but it's not going to transfer as much to the next room over. Same thing with any sort of radio, music sounds, or people talking or TV. So this is like super typical for like a hotel or things like that. You can only do so much with insulation because the sound is still going to vibrate through any materials.
The wall's separating the units. It has that staggered stud, and so that kind of helps out. The sheetrock's not connected on both sides on the same stud, so that helps for that sound transfer. On the ceilings they use RC channel. I don't know if you guys are familiar with RC channel, and that helps not transfer the sound either. So we always use RC channel. Typically not in hallways, but like in the units, yeah.
3-hour wall
Yep.
somewhere.
Why do exterior beams all have metal cups and the interior down?
Okay, you're talking about the little buckets right there? Some of these, so these ones right here are landing on top of this top plate right here. This is a big beam. They put the beam in here, the header, so that you can make a doorway right there. So that's the only way to connect this to that is with the bucket. Otherwise, they'll land right on top.
On the exterior,
Yeah.
it's the same. Why? Because there's something.
That's for structural, because there's a window right there.
Okay.
So
So above every window. So
yeah, that always got windows. Otherwise, they'll land right on top of the top plate.
That's a good question. That's something that we're learning about in class too, right? We talk about headers and the jams and stuff. You can see how beefy this is. So look how beefy this jam is here in this header, just to protect this opening.
They put that glue. They'll put glue in these buckets, and then on all these joists, these floor joists, they put glue on top. Before they lay the plywood on, they put glue. I don't know if you've been in an old house. When you walk, you hear the floor squeak. That's the nails squeaking. That's for sound right there. So they put glue on every joist before. You can see some of the glue coming out sometimes on the side, but that's for you don't hear that old nail squeaking.
who are your suppliers?
So the framers, we were using RJP, and I believe they get their lumber from their own. They have their own source.
Their suppliers.
Yeah, it all depends. Like the sheetrockers usually go through Papco. I think Papco.
We have National.
National.
Papco is trying to get approved. Typically, there's specifications from the architect. So National was the specified supplier, so that got approved pretty easily. But we're doing a substitution request because our subcontractor has a better relationship with Papco.
Who's the sub?
Advantage Drywall.
Advantage
You guys
drywall
self-perform concrete?
subtract.
No, we don't self-perform. Back in the day, we did. But no, the Berkeley Concrete is the subcontractor for concrete.
Berkeley
They use
Concrete.
Folsom Ready Mix. So this concrete all came from Folsom Ready Mix. And, Berkeley Concrete is the subcontractor.
How many people are on site like a day like today?
22 framers today. I think there's 21 framers today. There's 3 fire sprinkler guys. There's I think there's 3 drywallers doing the metal stuff framing right now.
3 scaffold guys.
Yeah, 3 scaffold. 4, 3.
I think 3.
3 scaffold. We have a thing called Hammer Tech. That's what we have them sign in on. We get them all registered on Hammer Tech. So every morning the foreman has all their guys. There's an app that they use. And so if I'm the foreman, I'll pull that out. All my employees would scan that QR code, and that's how they sign in. So usually about 9 o'clock, I'll go through after I've walked the job and kind of got an idea of how many people there are for each subcontractor. I'll go and see if they signed in or not. This is just to show that they work here. It's not for getting paid or anything. It's just to show that they're working here and that they're signed in. Everyone has to sign in when they come on our job site.
All the workers are from Brown.
So Brown, no, we're the general contractor.
Brown is
we
general
sub everything
contractor.
out.
Okay, perfect.
We'll have, today we have 1 laborer on site for Brown Construction. And he's kind of just helps out with cleanup. He might grab the grate off a little bit here and there. Fill in the blanks, any gray areas.
Do you guys still charge to perform anything?
No.
They're only, yeah.
Every now and then we do. I don't know if you guys have been to West Sacramento. There's a thing called the Barn. It's right by the river. It's right by the project that's in the Bridge District.
Right.
The big wooden structure. It looks like a giant peanut almost. And we self-perform that. We frame that up. I was a carpenter on that job. There was like 10 of us that built that. It took 1 year to build. So
You guys were the only people crazy enough to take that on.
we couldn't find any other framers that would. Our usual framers wouldn't take it. They said, we don't know how to bid something like that. We're not gonna do it. So Ron Brown's like, we're gonna build it ourselves.
Oh, that's cool.
So it took 1 year to do, and it's still standing. So.
And then who's your architect?
KPPF?
So
KPFF?
Ginsler is the architect.
Ginsler?
KPFF is the structural engineer.
KPFF.
I was getting mixed.
Structural
I was just going
engineer.
to add on to the self-performing. We don't typically KPFF. We don't self-perform anything, but there's always scope gaps. That just little things here and there that aren't picked up, like some benches that need to be built that are special. So we have carpenters that are qualified to do that kind of work. But it's not large scope items.
It's like backing for towel bars. It might not have been the framer's contract, so we'll just have our guy go through and do it.
Safety stuff, right? So like safety is on your lab reports. So you can see like every opening, right? So they either buy it out from their framers, they say, hey, your framing crews need to come out and they need to do fall protection on all openings. Or it might be something that Brown does with their carpenter.
So we always put it in their contracts to install it initially. Once it's installed, if it comes off, our guys put it back.
You maintain it.
We maintain it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's all stuff that you guys have to think about as a general contractor when you buy it out, right? Because you might say, oh, I've got it covered. My framer is going to, install the opening protection. But what happens when your glass guy comes in, starts flashing, and has to remove stuff? And then the glass guy says, it's not my scope to put it back. So then all of a sudden, you have what you call scope gaps. So you got to pick up those things, put some contingency in your budgets. Can we check out your metal stud framing?
Yeah,
just because
we're
we're going through
this
that.
3-hour wall. I think it's safe enough to get on there.
My fault, man. Look at all this wood frame. It's so beautiful.
We don't need to go through it.
We'll go back down and we'll take a peek underneath the podium. And she'll show them like this is the underside of the podium. Perfect. Yeah, it'll be good. I say take it out.
So you guys can see some metal stud framing.
Yep.
Metal
So
stud.
this is a 3-hour wall separation right here. This is going to be separating the building with 3 hours. So if there's a fire here, it would take 3 hours to get through this side of the building. So if this side of the building catches on fire, we got 3 hours to get it out before this side catches on fire. There's going to be an expansion joint too, a seismic joint right about where the top of that ladder is. That's going to be the seismic joint. So if the earthquake or building settles, that there's a little bit of flex in this building. And that'll be fire rated going up too. So the seismic joint, that's a 3-hour wall. So the purple, they got, I don't want to go on this side, but there's a detail for this, and this is something that they read and they go over, and there's not a lot to it, but it has to be done right. The fire inspector looks at this, our regular inspector inspects this. Yeah, that's kind of it. There's only one of these on this project. Sometimes we'll get on the plans, you'll see on other projects there's 2 or 3, but right here on this project, it's smaller, so there's only one. That's it. Any questions?
You said, is this all still considered one building, right? So how do you guys, I guess, identify each side?
So that right there is segment A, and right at this right where the segment joint is segment B. So segment A, segment B. That's kind of how we've been referring to it.
The architects like to confuse things even further. There's bar 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 1, 2 are on this side. I think 3 is kind of splits it.
Yeah, the middle here.
Yep, and then there's 4 and 5. So
If you you talk to any of the trades out here, it's segment A or segment B. That's kind of what short term.
Sure.
You know?
Perfect.
Yeah, well, we'll go underneath the podium. I'm going to show you guys underneath the podium. You guys real quick.
You go to Sac State?
Nope. I went to school in Indiana. I'm a worker. He didn't give a 30.
He was lifting them off. It averaged out to about 30.
30, I think. I got engineering design, ATF.
Have you ever worked in construction?
Yeah, I used to do electrical when I came over here to Sac. I started doing bidding for a company called BPI.
Oh, BPI?
And then after that, I started working for a construction supply store.
One more time? The last part?
Yeah, I started working for a construction supply store.
Store?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. What store was it?
Then fasteners,
Oh, fastener thing?
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool is the brown construction too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I've delivered out here a few times.
That's dope. How'd you like electrical work?
It was fun, honestly. It's probably my favorite
Favorite?
so far. But I decided to come to college and we'll see how it works out.
So, how old are you?
I'm 24.
24? How did you get into electrical? Did you go to like a trade school or was it like with your parents or
No,
uncles?
so I just knew one of my buddies had a family member that needed some extra help with his company.
Uh-huh.
So, hey, I'm looking to hire fresh guys. So he's like, all right, so my buddy's just looking to get into it. So he just got me his number and I started.
That's dope, bro. That's a good
I
opportunity.
didn't know shit when I started, and he's like, that's perfect. I don't want someone that knows stuff. I want to teach them. So,
That's dope. I mean, that's good that he was like willing for that
yeah,
too.
exactly.
Because like sometimes you'll get with people who like, they're like, I expect you to know it
Yeah.
and shit. So,
Now, well, he prefers people that don't know it because he says that it brings bad habits sometimes.
yeah, because you're like, you question him like, oh,
Yeah.
not in a bad, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously questioning isn't bad, but like you question like his way.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
oh, are you sure it's that way? And it's like, that's dope though. That's a good opportunity. And so is this your first year in college or
No, this is my third actually.
third year?
Yeah, I switched majors.
Oh, really? Where were you at?
I was doing business administration. Now I'm trying to get into construction management.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but then you're pretty much done with your business stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm taking my last few classes this semester, and I should be all good with my business.
That's good, bro.
The way they did this is they did the walls first. They did the walls and the columns. So when they shot these walls are shotcrete. They poured the columns, they built the whole way for them, they built the rebar, and then they poured the columns. But it was cheaper to shotcrete these walls. So they frame up three sides, three corners, put the rebar in, and then they shotcrete it. You guys know what shotcrete is? It's kind of like you guys ever seen a pool here? You know, where they spray that gunite is what they use in pools. It's cheaper. Comes out dry and mixes with water to come out. This stuff comes out in a concrete stuff. It gets put in the front of the truck. So it was cheaper to do it that way, and then they would shoot it. They would have to have three guys. They had a mock-up of it. They have to have three guys each spreader because one guy can't go all day long. It's too hard. It's not cool. One guy couldn't do it all day.
Three guys to do the shotcrete.
And you go mock-up test, and they do core samples and they grade it. So if they fail, they can't spray out there. They shot the walls, the columns, and then they poured the slab next, and then they started doing the shoring. And as you can see, it's like perfect little plywood pieces right here. So that's just all 4x8 plywood with one side. It's like a concrete board, it's kind of a little bit expensive. They spray some oil, some kind of like a non-stick on it, keep it off and stick on it. So they build that up, and then everybody, all the subs, But if they get up there, your electricians, they'll put these things in, they're called bangers. Oh no, these ones are called, which one's on it?
The fire sprinklers.
Yeah, these are called bangers right here. And I don't know if you guys know what they are. It's got 3 nails from on top. They bang it down where they know they're going to be running these pipes. Where they know they're going to be running all the conduit. So that's all laid out on top of the podium before the rebar and all the concrete gets poured. And when they take the corners off the bottom, all the little bangers in there, they can drill. They can add their own brick. What's gonna be, so right here we're in the staff apartments. Right here, that first section is the bike room. There's gonna be a couple staff apartments. Most of these are gonna be, that's gonna be an electrical room over here. Those are gonna be at the end. That's gonna be like offices for like the Sac State employees or whatever. All big dogs. The middle section is gonna be the postal room. Amazon, the post office, Amazon package room. That middle part is going to be the elevator. So that's going to be the elevator. Over there on that side is going to be like a kitchen, little area, not like a dining room, but like a kitchen area. The farther side is going to be a classroom and then a big convention room, a conference room.
You got a question?
Yeah, I was gonna ask about the bang it anchors. Is there a reason why you guys prefer those over overhead like epoxy?
It's what the architect,
Gotcha.
it all
It's
goes
a spec'd
over,
out.
yeah, with the architects and everything. If they missed a banger, say one got missed, or like when the guys were pouring concrete, they kicked it off. We have to get, they can drill in and put anchors in, but they can't just put anything in. It has to be looked at, submitted, it has to be approved. You can't just put anything in, but stuff does get missed. The plumbers did a lot of drilling. I think it was easier for them just to drill than to try to figure out where their stuff was going, but for the most part, the bangers are like the biggest thing everybody uses.
So we talked about that in class, right? Anything that you can do on the ground is going to be faster and safer than doing something in the air. So when they put these bangers in, right, they have threads in them, and you can twist in your all threads. So they coordinate all that ahead of time. So when the sprinkler guy comes, see these hangers with the threads on them? All they do is they just thread those in, and then they're done. They can just keep hanging their piping. Whereas we talked about in class, we try to hold your arms up above your head for 10 minutes. Imagine doing that for 8 hours a day with a roto hammer, trying to hammer in all your, epoxy anchors or your wedge anchors or whatever. It's going to take a lot more time. It's going to be more expensive ultimately. So anything that you can put in the slab, do from the ground, from the next level up before you pour is going to.
Typically, it's not okay to drill them.
Capital Valley Electric.
The rebar is 1 inch above the concrete. On top, the rebar, the second layer is 1 inch below. So you don't want to have to drill if you don't have to. It's not, you can't hit rebar, you can't drill through rebar. So it's a big deal when you miss something. So typically, they got good foremen out here that do a pretty good job. For ground construction, we always try to take a second look, verify that they might have missed something.
And you guys as like young engineers or interns, that might be your job, right? Before concrete pour, going through and documenting, making sure they're putting everything in. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter to you, you're the general contractor, but you want your subs to be efficient, right? You don't want them to take longer, you want them to work faster. So it's part of your quality control to make sure that things are where they're supposed to be. You can only do concrete once, right? You're only supposed to do concrete once. So everything we talked about, like edge of slab and class, like all this is coordinated. When they form up the edge of the slab, it needs to work for exactly what the facade of the building is doing, right? That's what's his name?
Jeff?
That's Jeff's job, right? So you go through, I'm sure you have the quality control, all the edge of slab, and make sure it's going to work for your finishes.
Unfortunately, I wasn't here when they poured the concrete.
Oh yeah.
I bring the exterior guy in late, so I get to figure out what didn't happen.
So you just do damage control now and figure out what went wrong.
It was pretty good out here. Honestly, the biggest thing that we ran into was design issues. So we have a first floor slab plan and second floor, and some of their details and their dimensions didn't match up. So it's not just on our subcontractor. Maybe that question should have been asked by them or our team. However, if they're just going off the plans and they don't match, we can come out with a solution, with a design.
All right. Well, I know some of these students need to get back to class at 10 o'clock. So you guys have any other questions?
You guys all go into construction management, project managers, engineers?
What security measures besides fencing do you guys have on site?
Right now we got cameras and we have the fencing. We don't have a guard overnight. On other jobs, we always get robbed. People try to rob us. People have burned down our projects. We had a project that got burned down at Oak Park off of Broadway. The framing was up, 4 stories. Somebody came in and burned like half the building down.
What happened to that project that you guys did the rail yards?
It was almost done. We had the owners flying in on a Monday and to come do an owner's walk, and it's down there in the rail yards. Some kids came in, they broke in. We had security, but the job was big. They ran all the way to the top of the stairs and they opened up the fire riser, which is, I mean, there's so much water came out of it, but it flooded like a third of that building, just destroyed it. So they had to demo it all the way down to stud, turn up the Gypcrete, trial, stud it out, and basically rebuild the whole thing.
How many millions of dollars did that cost?
I think it was like 30-something
I think
million.
it was 20 to 30 million.
So this is a job, maybe like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, we toured in this class, Sac Rail Yards, a big, I don't know, 5, 6-story apartment complex that Brown built. It was literally done, right? Was it done? The owners were flying in to come do the punch list on a Monday. Over the weekend, some kids came in, these fire sprinkler risers up the building, they released all the water and flooded the building, $20, $30 million worth of damage. Like that project's pretty notorious because of how bad how bad
a lot of people are going to move over here.
Who becomes financially responsible when that happens?
They went after it, so they caught one of the kids, and the insurance wants to go after their parents. He wouldn't tell one of his other 5 friends because he's a good friend like that, but insurance is going after that family. They don't have a lot of money, but
So it goes through insurance.
yeah, it's all insured.
But it got paid for. Like,
The building's done.
Okay.
Yeah, now
It's always a fight, though. It's always a fight. Our documentation has to be perfect.
So we talked about lawyers, right? Insurance companies have lawyers too. And they love to fight. Probably the property owner's insurance, the general contractor's insurance, the fire sprinklers company insurance. I'm sure there's probably a dozen insurance companies that all got involved and all sued each other. And
So does the security company like get the claim for that?
They're responsible to an extent. They're not allowed to, like, I don't think physically, like, grab a kid or I don't know.
I'm sure the insurance companies went after them too. They probably went after everybody.
I think in their contract they're not responsible. They're there to, like, just kind of as a deterrent, but not physically, like. I mean, it happens all the time.
They basically call the cops if they see something.
Yeah. They see the building on fire, we'll call the fire department. So that's it. But usually you get good security. Some are really good. Some that you have to wake them up in the morning and tell them to move their car. That's just how it is. Yeah, we've got a lot of interns. A lot of our interns come from Sac State. They become engineers, project managers. Our vice president, he was construction manager for Sac State. He was vice president. He started about half a year before me. I started almost 20 years ago. But now he's the VP of the company. So we've had engineers make the switch and becoming the superintendent or the assistant superintendent route. Which, they just felt like this is, they would like to do that. So it's kind of yep.
Considering how close the site is to the river, what special precautions do you guys have to take in order to reach bedrock?
For the SWIP, so any of the water can't leave the site or go down any of the DI drains because all the water flows into the river. So we can't let we have to have that wattle protection, the filter fabric. We have to just make sure no spoils are when it rains, we have to really make sure nothing leaves the site.
You guys hit any groundwater when you guys have elevator pits or no?
You have one.
We got one over
You guys
there.
hit any water or anything?
There was a specialty mix, like good water system. I don't know what technically it is. Those walls are for
Not leak proof. At the end of the day, at Berkeley, we got some elevator pits. And they've got the stuff on there. So there's a little bit of leak. Low sea level.
I'm surprised you're on the river right there.
Yep. That's the mechanical yard. That's where the big chiller, the big
Mechanical yard.
is going to be out there. We have that back there. That's on the mechanical yard over there. It kind of resembles the one that's on that building over there. It's going to kind of have that same open walls. Kind of look good.
Any other questions? All right, everybody. I'll give you guys an announcement for class next week. I don't know if we're going to have a tour next week because we've got a lot to go over with the quiz and the midterm and everything else, but I'll give you guys an update if we do happen to have a lab. So. Yeah, that would be awesome. We were just talking about classroom. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. What's the safest way to get out of here?
Back to the road right here.
Let's all follow each other out. Make sure we don't hurt anybody.
Nobody get hurt, please.
No. Have you been with Brown Construction like your whole like career? Professional career?
I started when I was 28.
28?
I'm 48. How old am I? I'm 48 years old now.
48?
So yeah, so in April it'll be 20 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's been a good company.
That's good. Being able to stay with the company for that long?
Yeah, it's good, man. They treated me good. We worked through the 2008 when they had that big crash.
Uh-huh. Oh,
I
yeah.
worked all the way through. I was on this project in 2008.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the thing. Never had no time off, you know.
That's how it is.
No time off I didn't ask for, you know.
Yeah.
It's a good company, man. It's like almost like family. There's 100 and how many people working now? Maybe 120, 130, all the way from the office to the field.
And so do you just like watch over the project?
Yeah,
or?
try to keep the schedule going, do all the inspections, quality control, just put out any fires, you know, any problems. I mean, it's just every day there's something happening, you know.
I would imagine, yeah.
But yeah.
So and then you said, I don't know if you were saying that it was you, but do you like manage also the workers and like making sure they're all here and?
Yeah. So I keep track of how many subcontractors are here. I keep a list of that. We have a schedule called we run it through. It's called P6.
Okay.
So that's what we run the schedule off of. So the superintendent, Steven, the lead super, he makes the schedule, and we just hold the subs to it. Every week we have a sub meeting. If someone's behind or someone can't, we all communicate. Every week we're communicating. Every day we communicate, but every week we all get together and electrician can be like, hey, the plumber, you're in my way. Your pipe's gonna be in my way. We try to just get all that stuff resolved as fast as we can. So.
Yeah, that's good. That's good that you guys, communicate too.
Yeah.
Especially like on big projects, I would
We have
imagine.
to. Yeah, this one's small. We're on a project out there in off of Arden. Yeah, let me